And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Rex March Madness, to the qualifier. Not just a qualifier, welcome to the first of two qualifying matches. This is not a best of 3, it's a best of 5. Here we go. We're near the tail end of the broadcast. We're here to determine which 2 players will make it into the main event, will make it into the madness that is Rex in March. We're here to find out. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado once again, Bobby. Oh my god. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is, Pappy. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will qualify for the main event. Will it go the way of Rogue? Will it go the way of ByuN? Rogue, he is very warmed up. We've been featuring him in nothing but ZVTs, and in both series he did play on El Dorado. ByuN, on the flip side, has been experiencing a bit of a different way and a bit of a different road into the qualifying match. He took down Ryung to make it here. He took down the Tuna in the TvZ, Terran versus Tuna, if you will. Did bring him down. Big win for ByuN, but now he's up against a player that's very well warmed up. He's ready here. This time, not gasless. Remember, in the last series and even in the series before that, I believe he did have a gasless opener. This time it is going to be a hatch gas pool standard opener out of Rogue. So Rogue, he is mixing it up here. With this opener, this means that he will get into faster link speed, into a more standard opener instead of cutting corners. He doesn't feel too confident cutting corners against ByuN. Again, he had an intense series against Percival earlier, and ByuN is definitely a step up from Percival. So not as going to be easy to bring down. So ByuN does go for his opener, moves out with the Reaper. Time and time again here on this map, we've seen Rogue slip out with 2 Lings to try to get some economic damage on it and delay the CC. We'll see if he's able to do this time, as for the first time tonight, Rogue, he takes the northern third base. He does not expand towards ByuN. He doesn't want to let ByuN be aggressive himself. Interesting. Very different dynamic here. Very different approach against ByuN. And I definitely understand it, definitely respect it. Taking a more timid, a more passive, a more defensive approach against ByuN instead, as he expands away from the Terran. You know, ByuN back at home. Ooh, going for the third CC. Let's go. Going for the third C on location. Third CC is at the gold. Let's go. Very greedy build here by ByuN. Insane greed. And we'll see if Rogue can punish this, as it is rare to even see the third CC on location, let alone at the gold. For now, the Overlord dips in. The Overlord scout is going to be denied by the Marine. So far, Rogue is in the dark. ByuN going for his through TC into Starport, and we'll see if he goes into Banshee play. Meanwhile, ooh, that is a very fast layer. That is a, what, 3-minute 15-ish or 3:10 layer timing out of Rogue, rushing into a second gas geyser, no tech yet. Now, this could be for Roaches. This could be to rush into Roach speed as quickly as possible, or this could be something more sinister. This could be 2 more gases at the natural and 2 base Muta. This could be 2 base Muta. Link speed, no link speed. No link speed here from Rogue, as he did, of course, spend his gas on that layer instead. Roach Horn is thrown down. Roach Horn behind the natural, despite how he has opened up, and he has gone for a more defensive, more passive opener. He's going for a Roach Rush. And again, with that fast layer, he will have fast Roach speed, and the Roach Horn is hidden. So bold move here by Rogue. ByuN does open up Banshee, so he will have a safe opener to respond to this. Banshees are typically ideal against Roach-based aggression, as Roaches do not shoot up. And Banshees, they can target down Roaches ahead of time. Oh my god, and I assume it's going to be for Roach speed. It is for a Nidus all-in. Okay, Nidus Worm is on the way. We have an Overlord dipping in towards the main. We have another Overlord here between the bases. Rogue being cheeky here. And remember, ByuN is being greedy. He's being greedy back at home. There's potential here for the all-in. So far, hidden very well. ByuN has no idea what's going on. He has seen nothing. All he knows is the third location, and again, that sells a story. That sets a tone. I mean, we fell for it as well. We're like, oh, he's playing more defensive. No, not at all. Not at all. Here it is. Nice into me, but he gets spotted. I get spotted. Boys are being pulled. Marine was on patrol, and ByuN, he will shut this down. Strong start for ByuN. Shuts down the Nidus. GG gets called, and he shuts down the all-in. ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Just like that, ByuN does kick things off with a win. Again, Rogue, all of his eggs were in one basket. All of his roaches were in one Nidus. Nidus Worm is denied, and Rogue had no other way out of that. He had no drones. He was all in. He was all in. All in fails. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does take a lead in the series, and we will move on to the rest of the map pool. Here we go. Now, I'm looking forward to Game 2. Game 2 is going to be once again on a map that I'm very, very inexperienced with. I've casted a total of 1 game so far on it, and I like what I see. Up next, Hellscape. Up next is going to be Hellscape. Once again, Hellscape is a larger macro map, has a lot of attack paths, has a lot of openings, especially in the center of the map, so you can be a little bit more active, rotating between all the bases. There's the entrance towards the 3rd, the 4th, the natural, the 5th base as well. So I do like what Hellscape brings to the table in general. I do think it is a good map. I like it a lot more than the current macro maps in the current ladder map pool. I'm referring to Neon Violet Square, King's Cove, and Abyssal Reef. Again, there's a reason why those 3 maps that I mentioned are often removed from our tournaments, to be honest. Whether it's our tournaments, Monday Night Weeklies, What TV Mondays, KSLs, all these open cups, they all remove those maps for good reason, and we replace them with maps like this. And again, so far I'm very fond of it. I'll be honest, I'm very fond of it. And here we go. So, I mean, I've only seen 1 game on it so far, so we'll see if it holds up. As in the bottom left-hand corner of Hellscape, we have our South Korean Zerg player, our South Korean Zerg, our red Zerg player down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. For Team Falcons, it is Rogue. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. We have the blue Terran himself, also from South Korea, representing Shopify, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. Go. We go as we are going to be settling in. So far, standard opener here out of Rogue. Once again, he does not skip his gas. He's going hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of our Rogue player. Likewise, ByuN across the map going for nothing crazy either. Overlords are moving out, checking for proxies, checking for shenanigans. Again, the map is quite large, so I don't blame Rogue for looking for proxies. But so far is a standard setup. Rax is back at home. Go. As ByuN is getting his natural. From here, we can go into, of course, a fast 3rd CC. We'll see if ByuN deviates and goes for like a 3CC 2-1-1, which I could see being effective on this map. But at the same time, as we saw from Percival, because there are just so many avenues of attack, because there are so many paths here, I do like the idea of just embracing, you know, Hellion Banshee and seeing ByuN go for the same approach that Percival did. And again, Percival, he had a lot of success. He had a lot of success with his aggressive multi-prong aggression. He wasn't able to break Rogue, but it came close. Came so close to breaking him. I want to see ByuN in that same position. As a fan, that's what I want to see. So now ByuN dips in. So far, Rogue is keeping up. Did invest into an extra pair of lings, so 6 lings for Rogue. Does get an extra pair. 3rd base is being taken. Going for the triangular 3rd base on the high ground. Much safer 3rd. ByuN back at home, 3CC. 3rd CC's here at the natural. And does he go for the starport or a 2nd Rax? Keep an eye on ByuN. Keep an eye on him. There it is. Tech Labs on the way. Show us that next building, that next structure. Likewise, Rogue, he's droning up. He does get link speed this time. I should have actually emphasized that. Remember, last game, he skipped link speed and rushed into a 3-minute 10 lair timing. Not the case this time. No crazy rush into lair. No Nidus all in. We're droning. Let's go. We're playing this out. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? I see fast stim. I should see a rack soon. What's going on? Okay, there we go. So it's going to be a 3cc 2-on-1. How many Hellions did we make? 4. Okay. So this is a bit of a reason why. This second Rax is late though. It is a late second Rax. Typically, it's done a little bit earlier to go for the add-on swap once the 4th Hellion is done. So this is a bit of an unusual setup here by ByuN. He had the minerals for it as well. So he goes for a 3rd Rax right after, gets into a double eBay into 1-1. So I would say that this build from ByuN, it feels a little bit shaky, but we're getting there nonetheless, working towards that same timing. Now, this does mean that Rogue is going to have an easier time spreading creep as opposed to his game against Percival. Remember, against Percival, he went up to 8 Hellions. He went up to 8 Hellions and he was hyper aggressive, and Rogue, he never spread any creep. He never spread any creep against Percival. He barely had 1 active tumor on the map. It was crazy just what Percival was able to accomplish with his Hellion Banshee. Here, ByuN, he cuts Hellion production early into faster bio, into a more committed stim timing with Marines. So into a more committed timing here with 1-1, with his bio, with his eventual medevacs. Now, on the one hand, he's going to have more Marines earlier, and he's going to have like a strong force, but there is a period in time here where he's going to be he's going to have less to work with, and where he has less of a map presence. Again, he only has 4 Hellions, so Rogue is having an easier time spreading creep. And so far, he's connecting all of his bases. Ooh, and we see Rogue going into Lingbane Muta. Okay, interesting. So, I'm a little bit concerned. My biggest concern coming into this, one, the creep is going to be better for Rogue, true. I mean, already, so it's already looking a little bit better than we saw previously. The downside is that Rogue, he is skipping his upgrades, or I should say, he's delaying his upgrades in favor of the Spire, in favor of Muta production. But ByuN is being very bio heavy. Remember, he cut Hellions. He cut Hellions for extra Marines, so I'm a little bit concerned here that ByuN might accomplish too much with this move out, because it's coming, it's on the horizon, and as we all know, Mutas are not a defensive unit, especially against a bio army like this. Mutas, they will not help in the defense. We need as much Lingbane as possible, but the Lingbane is going to be weaker than normal because of the delayed upgrades. Because of those delayed Evo chambers here, it's going to be weaker Lingbane against the early push here of ByuN. So this first push, this first move out is going to be the scariest moment here for Rogue. If Rogue can maintain his bases and maintain his economy, if he can sustain his, or if he minimizes his losses here, then he can skyrocket ahead into the mid game with his Muta harass. And there we go, 10 Mutas are on the way. That's a lot of Mutas. And ByuN, he needs to get damage with this push. Spots the army, here comes the Lingbane, Bane speed finishes up just in time. And Rogue, can he hold on? Can he survive? Hellions, they bust into the mineral line, 2 drone kills so far, nothing major. Good reactions here by Rogue. ByuN, he pokes his toes in, takes down a tumor, he backs off, which means he doesn't do any damage. Doesn't do any damage with this, he pulls away, and here come the Mutas. And I believe, unscouted. Yeah, ByuN has no idea. ByuN has no idea. There's no turrets, there's no winter mine set up back at home. We have a couple of turrets are on the way. The Mutas, they may have just been spotted. As the turret does finish here between the gases, Mutas, they don't make their way in. So far, ByuN is holding on. The Mutas, they haven't achieved any damage yet. ByuN is aware. He's aware of the Mutas. So far, he is secure. He's got his winter mines. The main base is more exposed, but the Mutas are stuck towards the south side. And now we are in a pretty weird place here. ByuN is contained, though. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god. Muta shots go off. Sorry, winter mine shots go off. They do catch a couple of Mutas. Not bad. That's 2 Mutas going down. They could have been so much worse if they were stacked. But a nice start here for ByuN. Meanwhile, the creep is spreading. Again, the creep is going almost it's going uncontested. Another Mutas! Oh, as Rogue, he does run into the army. Another 2 Mutas going down. These have been some rough starts here for Rogue. Leading out 4 Mutas already. These are expensive losses. As ByuN is being active on the map, being quite successful with it. Rogue comes in with his Lingbane support. Does head for the natural. Great for the CC. ByuN's in position, coming in for Attendant's flank, Attendant's around. Rogue has to get the hell out of there. So far, Rogue not losing, sorry, losing 5 mutas even. 5 mutas so far. ByuN gaining ground, pushing forward. The muta count is still building up. Still very heavily muta reliant. Again, Rogue has got 1-1 for his Link Bane, but we have 2-2 about to finish off for ByuN. So he's about to be up 2 upgrades. ByuN is almost there. West pushing forward. Mutas, they go for a counterattack. Alas, there is an army in position. Mutas try back around. Bailey's they crash. Oh, they do crash in. Good connections. They crash into the bio. Late splits there by ByuN. But moving forward, that's kill, not a cancel. Takes down the expansion. Takes down the hatchery. They'll take down the hatchery. Rogue moving in. He's just got the 1 turret. Mineral line's going to be going down. Nice catch here by Rogue. And the mine shots are brutal though. Lings are going down, but the mutas get into the mineral line. 7 SCVs do fall. Mutas into the main. And there's no backup turrets in here. And no turrets covering the production. Rogue finding some decent damage. Gets a medevac. Back into the mineral line. Back into the third. 11 SCV kills. And throughout all this, Rogue keeps maxing out. He's right, maxing out back at home. He has begun 2-2. At least +2 carapace. Needs +2 melee. Just now begins. As ByuN is trying to be active, but again, he's just forced back home. Oh my god. Jesus. This very takes another line shot to the face. Just the one. Thankfully. Take another wood in mind. He does spot the move out. Is aware. Link Bane rolling in. Bailings, they do crash into the mineral line. At least they try to. Oh god. Likewise, Rogue is keeping up across the map. 18 SCVs go down and ByuN is all in. ByuN is forced into an all-in. He's forced to commit. Here's a hefty army. Nice spread. Shuts down the Bailings. He's gaining ground. Meanwhile, mutas are in the main. Bailings, they don't get the connections they're looking for. ByuN, he's just battling his way through. He's just brute forcing it. Takes down the base. Can he focus on the Bailings? That's a lot of Bailings. No, force the pick up. Does force the pick up, buying more time. ByuN does hit the northern base. And he is trading well. But remember, ByuN behind this is losing everything. He loses the main base mineral line, the third base mineral line, 32 SVs go down. Another command center. It's all or nothing for ByuN. There's no turning back. And Rogue, he may just barely have enough. Mutas are racing back. And they race back home. They shut down the medevacs. Mutas, they defend. ByuN still has a little bit of momentum though. Still moving in. But not enough. Not enough Marines. Not enough fire here. Rogue defends. Whew. Rogue, he holds on. Now he did lose 2 bases. Did lose his 5th. Did lose his 6th. So he's down to a 4-base setup. But that muta count is insane. And without Thors, without good Widowmine shots, I don't see these mutas falling anytime soon. So he shuts down the double drop. ByuN, he does have 10 Widow Mines, okay. He's got a lot of mines. No Thors. Just now finishing up 3-3. Just now does finish up. We're moving in. More Marines. ByuN hoping to catch out the mutas. Just whack at them. This time Rogue's paying attention. And this time Rogue is attentive. And really that's the one hope that ByuN has here, is to catch out the mutas with his Widow Mines, with his Marines, with his Bio. If he can pull that off, then ByuN can still take this. As ByuN is still recovering. A couple of Thors have arrived. Oh! Got a couple of Thors. Rogue going into Lingbane. Muta Ultra. Ultras are on the way. Rogue still trying to thread the needle. Dipping in between the bases. And catch out the production. Takes down both Widow Mines. ByuN, he's pushing in. Widow Mines are set. And he will knock down another expansion. The last Rogue did double expand. He's going for the mineral line. Takes down all the turrets. Likewise will lose the base himself. Gets into the natural. There's a Thor. And Thor shots going up. Meanwhile, Lingbane crashes in. And ByuN not looking. He was focusing back across the map. He gets completely cleaned up. Decent mine connections. Decent mine shots. ByuN pushing through the center. Use their race pack. Oh! Another mine connection. Not bad. These Widow Mines are going to reset. They're about to reset. ByuN can still pull this off. ByuN killed 10 mutas. Down 10 mutas, but the Ultras have arrived. They're about to finish up their upgrades. Getting to 3-3. And kindness waiting. ByuN gets forced back once again. Tension forced back home. Rogue building up those Ultras. He's got how many Ultras so far? Seven Ultras! Oh my god. ByuN doesn't have enough to deal with that. There are no Ghosts, no Liberators. There are a couple of Marauders, that's true, but 7 Ultras, soon to be 9. Oh no. Yeah, Rogue, he's reached that Hive Tech. Ultras, they reveal themselves, they go for the Planetary. We get some Ultras at home to defend as well. ByuN pushing forward. Does move in. Rogue doesn't have everything to defend. Mine shots are going to go off. Good connections. Lingbane gets cleaned up. Ultras on their own. They struggle. They come the transfuse. Across the map, mineral line goes down. And it all comes down to this. And the army's bunching up. Yeah, a couple of swipes in the Ultras. That's enough. That's more than enough. GG gets called. ByuN, he just runs out of steam, runs out of army, and Rogue cleans it up. Ties up the series 1-1. GG, well played. We have a tied series. We have a back and forth. We're getting into game number 3. Let's go again. Rogue, it was risky to go for the mutas, but we mentioned at the time, the moment that ByuN didn't get damage done with his bio move out, with his first push, that was the moment that Rogue gained map control, that he was able to spread all of his creep, build up his bases, and Rogue was looking pretty comfortable. There were a couple of strong attacks by ByuN, that is true, but it never really felt like Rogue was in too much danger. Sure, there were moments where Rogue, he wandered onto Marines with his mutas, and he lost a couple of mutas here and there. That is true, but that was early on. After a time, he was a lot more secure with that. GG, well played. Rogue, he was not punished for his fast muta opener. And with that, that leads us into Game 3. Game 3, we go from one of the larger maps into one of the smaller maps instead. Up next, we're going to be loading into Arrowhome. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Arrowhome, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself from South Korea, tying up the series, making a series out of this. We'll see if we can keep that momentum going. It is Rogue. We go. So we are settling into one of the smaller maps. Again, welcome one all to Arrowhome. Arrowhome is a map from TLMC number 17, quite a number of seasons ago, but Arrowhome is a rush map, very short rush distance by ground, very short. We go from third base to third base, almost as long as it is from third to third on El Dorado. It's quite comparable, I would say. It's a very small map. To make up for that, there is a ramp coming into the natural. There's also a ramp coming into the third. Relatively narrow ramps where you can try to pull off a defense and wall up and have the concave. Likewise, there's also a brutal choke point here in the center, which we actually haven't really seen come into play, but that's also potentially a factor when it comes to defending against all-ins. But aggression is favored here on Arrowhole. And we'll see how our players will approach this. ByuN is going Rax Expand, Standard Opener out of our Terran player, likewise Hatch Gas Pull out of Rogue. Once again, this time Rogue, he is not skipping out on his gases. I don't expect that on a smaller map, I expect that on some of the larger maps instead. So Standard Openers initially. We have our Standard Openers. Reaper moves out. Once again, Rogue, he does invest into 6 Lings. So a bigger investment into Lings, like we saw previously. Just to be safe. Rogue does get his third. Gets his third on location. Queens have arrived. And so far, so good. Nothing crazy. There's no skipping Ling speed this time. Ling speed is on the way. And ByuN, hello. Last game we saw a faster third CC out of ByuN and a bit of a shaky follow-up. This time, what do we see? No third command center. 1-1-1, hyper aggression here from ByuN. And we mentioned earlier, Arrowhome favors aggressive builds, as Arrowhome is a rush map, so this makes sense. This makes perfect sense here from ByuN. What are we going for? Last game, we cut Hellions at 4. This time, we're not going to stop. This time, we're massing up Hellions, going for an add-on swap into Banshee play. This can also lead into a Hellbat push as well. Big delay on the third base in favor of more Hellions, faster Banshees, and just more aggression from the Terran. Now, this is not an all-in, but it's aggressive nonetheless, and this can turn into an all-in if we throw down like 2 more Raxes and we throw down an Armory. Like, sure, we can like commit on 2 bases and go for it, but that's very rare. Unless we're casting Nickrat. Like, Nickrat, he's got some crazy 2-base all-ins. It's wild. But we shouldn't be seeing that here. ByuN should still eventually expand. But the pressure is on ByuN to make this worth it. Remember, he's sacrificing his economy for this army in the hopes that it pays for itself. In the hopes that he's able to deal some damage across the map. Stim is on the way. Overlord Scout comes in. Rogue, he will get eyes on the 1-1-1. He will see both researching tech labs and the lack of third base. So big scout here for Rogue. As ByuN goes for the add-on swap. There we go, 2 more Raxes. Now, remember what I just said? I was like, it shouldn't be a 2-base all-in unless we see like more Raxes thrown down. But like, you know, we're not casting Nickrat. We're casting ByuN, and he's going for it. He's 2 more Raxes on the way. No third TC. Now, Rogue, he's already seen a piece of the puzzle. He's already noticed, you know, the faster tech labs on both buildings, both researching as well. That is a big tell already. But Rogue, he has yet to throw down his Roach Warren. He's going Lair first. Lair first out of Rogue. No Roach Warren yet. He's just stuck with Ling Queen initially. Going for the Baneliness. Okay, so it's going to be Ling Bane out of Rogue. This is ideal for ByuN, as he has super solid. Because ByuN, he throws down more Raxes. He throws down 2. He's on a 5 Rax setup on 2 bases. It's a straight up 2-base all-in out of ByuN. And Rogue, he's still not fully aware. He's still droning. Lack of Roach Warren is concerning. Banshees, they dive in. They're going for the Queens. Anyway, he gets 1. Nice catch. He gets 1. Clutch Transfuse. Oh, he gets a 2nd Queen. And he's going to get a 3rd as well. And right now, the Queen's at the back window of the defense here for Rogue. Remember, he has no Banelings currently. He has no Roaches. The final Queen's going to fall. And the Mirror Line's exposed. He's going for the drones. Workers, they're lining up. 3 drone kills so far. Another volley goes up. Detection does come in. So far, 6 drone kills. Nice damage so far by ByuN. And remember, this is not over. This was phase one. This was phase one of the 2-base all-in, because we're building up bio, building up tanks. Stim is complete. And ByuN, he's getting ready to push. And Rogue, he just started bailing speed, getting to double Evo chamber. Again, the queen count was almost reset. He's down to 5 queens. He lost how many? Lost 4. And he's going for the Hydrogen. This is too greedy. He's going for the Hydrogen and getting a 4th base, throwing down a macro hatchery as well. And he's primed to take this. But he's keeping his tanks at home. Okay. He's pushing. There we go. The all-in has arrived. Now, Combat Shields was delayed. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't think that was intentional, but Combat Shields was delayed, so it won't be a part of this fight. It otherwise should have been. So that that is going to be a factor coming into this. Takes down 1, takes down a queen, goes to the mineral line. Bailings, they're not done yet. Bailing speed on the way, 10 more seconds. And nice target fire here. ByuN does it. He breaks through. We had 5 more seconds to go, but bailing speed does not complete. And ByuN, he snowballs out of control. He takes the game and takes the lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. 2-base all-in out of ByuN. Never thought about a 3rd base. Just throwing down more Raxes, getting up to 5 Raxes, building up his tank count. And even without his tanks, he had enough. Again, as a reminder, Rogue, he was being so greedy. It looked like that Rogue, he just didn't realize that it was an all-in. He didn't rescout. All-ins are uncommon in this matchup, so I don't blame Rogue for not scouting. But seeing those 2 tech labs researching, I mean, that's already a tell that something is wrong, that something is not quite right, and he didn't rescout. So remember, Rogue, he was getting a 4th, he was getting a macro hatchery, he was getting a Hydrogen as well. All things that are not a factor in that defense against a 2-base all-in, so just really greedy play there out of Rogue. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into game number 3. Sorry, game number 4. Leads us into game 4. And as a reminder, this is a best of 5. Best of 5. ByuN needs 1 more win here to qualify for the main event. Rogue needs to win here and now to force the ace match. Pressure is now on the Zerg player. Here we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have our blue Terran player. We have our blue Terran, our South Korean Terran leading the series 2-1, representing Shopify. Again, 1 more game, 1 more win is all he needs to qualify for the main event for the March Madness that is Rex. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. Up against the wall, he has to take this game here and now to force the ace match. The pressure is on. It is Rogue. Here we go. So players are settling in, and welcome one and all to ley lines. Now, when it comes to ByuN's build last game, it was very reliant on the map that was Errorhome, so I do not expect ByuN to go for the same build here on ley lines. Again, the maps are very influential when it comes to builds, when it comes to play styles. We have seen that time and time again, even tonight, and we saw that on Errorhome. Here on ley lines, a much larger map, we do expect ByuN to go for a more standard opener instead, as we embrace ley lines. Now, when it comes to ley lines, it is not as turtly as maps like Neon Violet Square or Abyssal Reef. I can see ByuN finding success here with initial Reaper Hellion, I should say into Hellion Banshee, so we expect to see 3cc 111 into Banshee play out of ByuN. We'll see if he deviates. If he does throw down a faster Starport or a faster second Rax, we'll take note. Until then, standard openers. Rogue, he doesn't skip his gases. Not this time. Again, ley lines is a little bit too open to defend with purely Queen, so you can't quite get away with that. Whereas Rogue taking his 3rd. Ooh, Reaper does notice and does force out the gas geyser. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? I see a second Rax, 2-1-1. And this is a straight up 2-on-1 as well. This is not 3cc. Oh, ByuN going old school, very aggressive build. Okay. Now, this is not an all-in like we saw last game. This is a little bit different, but this is still committed. Basically, the goal here is a stim timing. It's basically the factory is only used for add-ons. Only for add-ons here. We should be seeing a tech lab to go for another add-on swap into fast stim. Behind this, 30cc is in the main, so it is going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 variation here from ByuN. It's still an economic build, but building up towards stim. Oh, hold on. That's different. Huh. He uses the factory not to make the add-on. He goes back into Hellion production. Okay, this is not normal. So usually, because we're building up towards a stim timing, you focus and you prioritize your bio production here. But this is a little bit different. So we go for the add-on swap. I mean, stim is of course on the way. Hellions are going to be moving out. We'll see how many Hellions he makes. It should only be 4. Should. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on ByuN. Okay. Got my attention. Let's go. Soon getting his 3rd. This should lead into a starport into Medivacs. But are we going to make an extra wave of Hellions? If so, this could be like a 2-on-1 stim time. Okay, again, this is so weird. This should be an add-on swap to go into the starport for reactored Medivacs, but this is still like still weird. It's a bit of a messy execution of the 2-on-1, or just the build itself is a little bit quirky. But we're getting there. You know, all roads lead to road. That's lead to Rome at the end of the day. All roads lead to 2-on-1. We're getting there. Now, these 2 medevacs should be out by the time we have 16 Marines, but we're still building up towards that. Hellions hit the expansion. Rogue, he's going for a Roach opener. What has Rogue seen? He saw the 3rd TC. He didn't see much else, though. But he notices the low Hellion count, so that's enough of a tell. A Roach response is very safe. Very safe. And he should have enough Roaches to hold it, to defend. As we're up to 14 Marines. Getting up to 17. 3rd base not being taken. And here comes the push. Now the Link Scout did just confirm. So Rogue, he knows to make Roaches. And he so far has 5 Roaches, 9 in total, has 4 more on the way. He's got his Queens, he has Transfuse. He should be okay. He should be able to defend against this. It's going to be up to ByuN to pick off some Roaches, maybe catch a Queen, deny a creep. We'll see what he can accomplish. So let's push out. Alas, he is deflected. He does notice the Roach army, of course. Does take note. Sims in, gets an Overlord, not bad. Doesn't spend any scans. Looking for more Overlords. Back at home, he's just muling up. There we go, there's a first scan. Takes down the active tumor. Drops towards the main. Spores in position. And Roki's rushing to a fast infestation pit. It is on the way. Takes down both spores. Some pickoffs here from ByuN, not bad. Takes down a couple of Roaches, gets some drone kills as well. Oh my god. Rogue not responding hard enough to this. It does not react hard enough. Meanwhile, Hellions, oh my god, they bust into the mineral line. Drone's gonna be going down. I was recommending these 4 Hellions earlier, but 17. That's game. 21 drone kills. Rogue completely out of position. We're still not done. He's still just roasting on more drones. 30 drone kills. Ay. This was not meant to end the game, but the Hellions, they deal critical damage. Just out of nowhere. Again, Rogue, he undercommitted to the defense against the Marines initially, so then he responded with everything, and he overreacted. did overreact. He sent all his roaches into the main. He had nothing in position to defend, and the Hellions, they just sealed the deal here, as that was 32 drone kills. Oh my god. That should not have happened. And with that, ByuN is pushing. And Rogue has been redroning is the problem. He's been redroning, he's been trying to resaturate, he's back up to 69, but again, that's the downside of losing all those workers, is that you're spending all your larva to try to keep up economically, and that means that your army is suffering. Remember, this army supply, the soup does lie. This army supply is inflated for Rogue. Roach Ravage is inflated, so it should naturally give you a larger army, and you can see the supplies are neck and neck. That spells trouble here for Rogue. Whilst they zone away, they buy a little bit of time. ByuN is pushing in, and this push may just end the game here. Rogue, he's trying to hold on. And ByuN, he's out of range of the bases. True. He's out of range. Rogue, he's building up more reinforcements. 18 more lings on the way. Rogue needs a little bit more time, and he can hold on. Does collapse in. ByuN, he sims onto the Ravagers. Ravagers are going down one after the other. Massive tank boys here on the Queens. Nice target firing. Rogue, he's holding on. He shuts down the ByuN. Oh, Jesus. The trades are brutal, though. He will clean up the tanks eventually. We'll clean this up. And Rogue, he survives. Ooh, he does survive. Did cost him 8 roaches, 7 ravagers, 2 queens, but he does hold on. Again, ByuN, it took him a while here to actually get on top of, I mean, he never really got on top of the bases. He never really pushed in. He was delayed. Rogue, he's holding on. Now, he got away with a hive. With that hive, we have the Ultra Cavern on the way. That's going to be ambitious. We're still a ways off when it comes to the upgrades. Vipers have arrived as well. They will definitely help. And we'll see if Rogue can survive the second wave. Because ByuN is gearing up. He's gearing up towards that second push. This time with a more Marauder-heavy composition. Rogue, he did end up getting up to 4 base saturation. Drop comes back in. ByuN sims forward. We got these Vipers. Ooh, but the mine shots are brutal here. Lingbane is going to be going down. And Rogue, he should be able to hold on here. Zones away the army. Let's go, more Banelings coming in. So Rogue, he does hold. ByuN gets his 4th base, now getting a 5th. ByuN trying to reinforce. So far, Rogue doing well. Doing well for himself given the situation. Now, he still needs more time to get into Ultra Tech. Like, this is still a very expensive army he's trying to work towards. He's still on Lingbane. ByuN going for a split push. Northern Army is gonna be dealt with. Ooh, Banelings, they crash in. Late reaction out of ByuN. Meanwhile, towards the south, a little more successful. ByuN, he shuts down the Lings. There were enough Banelings, and ByuN, he breaks through. Banelings are rolling in. But ByuN is with his Widow Mines. He kites back. Shuts down the Banelings. Keeps forcing his way in. Oh no! Ooh. Overextends. ByuN looking away at the wrong moment. Takes the Baneling to the face. ByuN keeping up the pressure. Again, Rogue, he has not touched the bases at all from ByuN. This is because of all the dead workers earlier. Rogue has just been stuck defending and surviving and treading water the entire time. And he's trying to build up. He's now taking into Hydras, into Hydra upgrades. Spiking the Ultra Cavern. Decent Baneling connections. Once again, the splits are not quite there for ByuN. So Rogue, he trades well. That's probably the best fight that Rogue has had so far. Very nice. ByuN, he took the Banelings to the face, and now Rogue, he's gearing up towards Lurkers. He's almost there. He's almost at Lurker Tech. Looks like he's, for the most part, abandoning Ultras. Like, he has no Ultra upgrades, no kindness plating or anything. He's making some Ultras, but, again, the upgrades aren't quite there. Feels like Lurkers are his kind of go-to, his endgame. Rotate towards the south. We'll deny an expansion. Kindness plating now begins. And the Ultras are spotted. ByuN, he doesn't have Ghost, by the way. Does have the Ghost Academy. No goes for the army. While Rogue is distracted, army comes in. Rogue, he's in position. So far, Rogue, he's keeping up. He's surviving. He's holding on. And he's almost reached his final form. He already has the Hydras. And he's about to get into Lurkers. He just needs a little bit more breathing room. There we go. ByuN backs off. Where are the Lurkers? Banelings do more Finn. Rogue, he's supply blocked. Ooh. Is supply blocked? There we go. Just breaks out. Just breaks out. ByuN, he's still maxed. Is still applying pressure. Rogue, he's almost found room here for those Lurkers. Actually has no Lurker upgrades. I thought I saw Lurker range on the way earlier. Didn't quite get there. Oh, ByuN kiting off the creep. Some okay pickoffs. Ghost production has begun. But so far, impressive defense here by Rogue. And there it is. The Lurkers are on the way. I could have sworn that I saw Lurker range being researched, but never did. So these Lurkers, they're lacking their upgrades. So these are essentially Lair Tech Lurkers. Good mind connections here on those Lings. ByuN takes down the final Ultra. And again, ByuN is building up his ghost count. Building up his forces. Rogue, he's about to be active on the map. Again, for the past like 10 minutes, Rogue has been stuck defending the entire time. Again, because of the early game. But he is about to break out. Nidus Worm's on the way. And hey, that's a way to counterattack. Oh! Don't hold position! Oh no! ByuN! He doesn't see! Oh my god! Spine shots go off, going for the ghost. Yeah, gets one, does shut them down. We get a couple of snipes going off. Oh my god, it does reset the Lurker count at least. Whew. Yeah, Rogue was a little bit late to the party. That was a messy fight. Did lose all the Lurkers. Takes down 3 ghosts. I want to say that was actually better for ByuN because Rogue did lose every Lurker and he has 0 Lurkers left. 0 Lurkers remaining. May have gotten a couple of ghosts, but hey, they did their job. ByuN got what he wanted. Yeah, this time he scans ahead of time. And not again. The Lurker's just now morphing in. Gonna be 4 in total. ByuN is pushing his way forward. Again, still pushing into a choke point. Still not easy. ByuN peeling off, going for a doom drop. Headed towards the main, but there are plenty of Overlords in position to scout this. Nidus into the main base of ByuN, but he notices instantly. But there's nothing at home. He's max, he's racing back home. He does stim. Just amassed him on the army. He's racing all the way back. Lings, they do hit the 3rd. Nidus does complete. Lurkers, they get out, but oh, they should be shut down. Yeah, snipes are going off. 0 detection. Oh god, the choke point. Lurks are cleaned up, but hey, Lings, they get into the middle line at the same time. Massive doom drop into the main, but the Banelings are back at home to defend. Very key defense. He holds on. 22 SCVs going down. This Ling run-by has done it. Takes down the entire mineral line. Again, ByuN had such a strong start, but he had some lackluster engagements, lackluster fights. We spoke about the fight earlier here towards the top side. Likewise, the engagement towards the south, which Rogue did take. So Rogue, he had some better fights, better overall engages, and with that, Rogue, he bounces back in this game. Crazy. Crazy, Papi. Oh my god. It was like, what, 32 drones at the start. That was insane. Insane damage for a handful of Hellions. But Rogue, he defended, took better fights, and with that, he overwhelms. Going for the mineral line, going for the planetary. Ooh, leads out a little Ling main. But takes down 19 SCVs. He's forcing ByuN into an all-in. And Rogue, he doesn't have to go for the kill. He's done enough damage. Lings, they wreak havoc, they catch more reinforcements. It's all or nothing for ByuN. And Rogue just has to take it slow and defend. Just calm things down, build up reinforcements. Oh my god, the Baileys, they just crash into the army. GG gets called, and Rogue ties things up 2-2. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. A very impressive defense there by Rogue, as he was in a very rough position that game, bleeding out and losing his economy. Because of that, that's why he was just stuck defending the entire time. ByuN had momentum, but again, a lot of the engagements from ByuN were lackluster. He did take some bad fights, he did take a lot of banelings to the face, did trade inefficiently, and Rogue bounced back. He bounced back, he was able to recover, able to get into those lurkers, and of course get the Nidus in the main. Now that Nidus in the main base, in a way that won the game for Rogue. It didn't deal critical damage, but it distracted ByuN, and it forced everything back home. ByuN, he mass stimmed his entire army, he raced all the way from one side of the map all the way back home, and in the process, he left his bases exposed. And that's when we saw the massling run by, got 26 SCV kills. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he was torn apart, and that leads us into the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into the ace match here. We're getting into game 5, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons, tying up the series and forcing the ace match. Can he go all the way? It is Rogue. We go. Whew. Again, it's been an intense back and forth. I'm just happy that we get an ace match. I'm happy that we get it all the way to game 5, regardless of how this series does end. All we ever wanted, or at least all I ever wanted. I'm greedy, Pappy. I won all the games. All the games. And we'll see how this story ends. Again, we have seen some unique builds out of ByuN, some inefficient builds, I would say, as well. Like the 362-on-1 that we saw last game was very quirky in its execution. But we have seen 362-on-1, we've seen 2 base all-ins, we've seen 1-1-1s out of ByuN as well. I mean, that led into the 2 base all-in. We've seen more standard economic games. We'll see what ByuN goes for on Frostline. Frostline is an odd one. This is an often vetoed map in the map pool. It can be very difficult to play a late game on Frostline just because these bases are so spread out and so exposed. As opposed to other maps, here the 3rd and the 4th base have very large ramps coming into them. The bases themselves are very large as well, so there's a lot of potential for aggressive concaves to move into these bases. There's just a lot of space to work with here. It's very spread out as well, very isolated 3rd, very isolated 4th. There's even this attack path in between the bases towards the natural, so because that, it can be very difficult to be the defender here, regardless of whether it's Terran, Protoss, or Zerg. If you don't have map control, it can be hard to keep up with the aggressing player. We'll see how this goes. We'll see who will gain map control first. Who will gain momentum? Will it go the way of ByuN? Will it go the way of Rogue? As Rogue is going for his 3rd. This time, ByuN is not in a position to delay. Rogue once again does invest into 6lings. Let's get 6lings, bleeds out 1. 3rd base is being taken. Rogue is droning. Oh. Rogue is going to be droning up, does protect his tumor. ByuN back at home, 3rd TC. For the first time in a long time, we have a more standard setup here, 3rd TC into Starport, so 3cc Banshee on the way from ByuN. Seems to be the build of choice. ByuN, he could delay his tech lab and go for a Viking opener instead, or go for a Liberator, but there it is, tech lab's on the way. So we are set up for the add-on swap. go. There's an add-on swap into Banshees. We'll see if ByuN does invest into Cloak. He may skip Cloak, may just skip it entirely and just go into Stim and just go into vanilla Banshees instead. Likewise, ByuN being active. The map is quite large, so it can be a little bit more awkward to rotate between the bases with Hellions. But they do poke in. Back at home, Stim is on the way. Overlord does confirm the third CC, and we are not researching Cloak. Cloak is not being researched here for ByuN. Just vanilla Banshees. Oh, he's faking it out though. Okay. Does fake out Cloak. And that will ideally force an overreaction by Rogue. Banshees revealed. And ByuN can cancel. He can now cancel. Settle into his game. Here moving out. We'll see if Rogue can keep up. So far, he's got his queens. He has 6 queens in total. Soon to be 8. Building up to 8 queens. Third base now already on location. Fast third out of ByuN. Rogue getting his 4th. So ByuN is getting into his own 3-1-1. 3 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starports, double E base here for double upgrades. ByuN is building up. And from the side of Rogue, we have no major tech yet. It's Lair first. Lair first out of Rogue into a Baneling Nest, into Baneling Speed. Very safe play out of Rogue, as he will delay his upgrades. He delays his Evo Chambers in favor of Banelings. This will keep Rogue safe against like a Hellbat push, or even a 2-base all-in. Will keep him relatively safe. And he saw the 3rd CC. Banshees, they dip into the main. They are deflected. You can see Rogue even morphing at that Overseer, just in case. I mean, he saw Cloak researching. So morphs in the Overseers. He's in position. And ByuN's just chilling. He's chilling back at home, throwing down more Raxes, getting into a 5-Rax setup. So far, so good. We could see ByuN go for an A-Rax. We've seen mixed success with A-Raxes on Frostline. But it is a build available. Banshees, they do find their way into the main base. 2 spores in the main. Jesus, big commitment. Getting a drone, getting 1, getting 2, getting 3. Banshees are going to go down. 1 Banshee for 3 drones. Not an ideal trade here for ByuN. Oh, he does get the queen though. There's no way out of this. Yeah, there's no way out of this. The spore's in position. Banshee falls. And that was a rough trade. 2 Banshees for 1 queen and 3 drones. I would say a better trade for Rogue. Lings, they move out for a counterattack. They spot the A-Rack setup. Hellions, someone in position. Okay, they will shut this down. So far, good response, but this will delay the production. Does delay ByuN. ByuN, meanwhile, pushing in. Banelings are morphing in just in time. Is it going to be enough, though? He wants the queens. He gets 1. He gets, oh, just the 1. Ling Bane crashes forward. Where's Baneling Speed? It just started. Oh, it's so late. It's so late here. Rogue, Baneling Speed should have been done. I was a little bit shocked. He pulls up, boys. He's gonna lose everything here. ByuN, he does it. GG gets called. He breaks Rogue, and ByuN will take the game in the series and qualify for the Rex March Madness. Also, Baneling Speed starting when he realized what had happened. Again, Baneling Speed should have been the first thing done. Remember, it was a Baneling Nest opener after the lair, delayed Evo Chamber, but somehow, someway, 1-1 finished first. It's crazy. So that was not intentional. Baneling Speed should have been done. It wasn't. GG, well played. ByuN, he just stims in and he qualifies. Congratulations. Congratulations here, ByuN. He will take it. Very well done. Very impressive. Rogue slipping up towards the end there, unfortunately, especially, you know, against a player like ByuN. You cannot make those mistakes, cannot make those missteps. Alas, ByuN does take it. And congratulations here. to ByuN. And that leads us into our next series, into our next best of 5. Here we go.